The ancient city of Hannibal, which is now the capital of the modern country of the same name, has a rich and interesting history that dates back to the 8th century BC. Here are some facts about Hannibal's history. In 832 BCE, Hannibal was founded by the Carthaginians and became an important commercial center in the Mediterranean. It was located near the coast on a hill overlooking the sea. The city was well fortified and had a natural harbor, which made it an ideal location for trade and commerce. This favorable location helped the city to become one of the most prosperous cities in the ancient world. It was known for its beautiful architecture, bustling marketplaces, and vibrant culture. Its strategic position on the Mediterranean also made it an important military base for the Carthaginians, who used it as a launching point for their expeditions to other parts of the region. In the 6th century BC, Hannibal became a part of the Assyrian Empire. Under the Assyrians, the city continued to prosper. They built new roads, public buildings, and monuments, and they also expanded the city's trade network. But in 525 BCE, the Assyrians were defeated by the Persians, and Hannibal became a part of the Persian Empire. The Persians continued the tradition of public works projects, and the city flourished under their rule. However, in 332 BCE, Alexander the Great conquered the region, and Hannibal became a part of his empire. Alexander was impressed by the city's beauty and its strategic importance, and he made it the capital of his new province of Syria. During Alexander's reign, the city became even more prosperous as it became a major center for trade between Europe, Asia, and Africa. After Alexander's death in 323 BC, Hannibal came under the control of Ptolemy the Wind, who was one of Alexander's generals. Ptolemy made Hannibal part of his kingdom of Egypt, and the city continued to thrive. It became a center for the worship of Alexander the Great as a divine ruler, and the city was decorated with statues and monuments honoring him. However, in 146 BC, Rome destroyed Hannibal during the Third Punic War. The Romans sacked the city and sold its inhabitants into slavery, ending the city's long period of prosperity. From then on, Hannibal became a ghost town, and it wasn't until the 5th century AD when the Arabs conquered the area and established a new city on the site of the old one. But let's go back to the war that destroyed this great city, because this war is one of the most famous wars in history. We're talking about the Second Punic War. This war was fought between Rome and Carthage from 218 to 201 BC, and it was one of the most significant conflicts in the ancient world. The war was caused by tensions over control of the western Mediterranean and the growing power of both Rome and Carthage. Carthage was a powerful North African city-state that had a large navy and a vast empire that stretched from Spain to Sicily. Rome was a rising power in Italy that was expanding its territory and influence. The conflict began when Hannibal Barca, a brilliant Carthaginian general, invaded Italy through the Alps with a large army, including elephants. He shocked the Romans by attacking them on land instead of at sea, where the Roman navy was superior. Hannibal's army was outnumbered, but his military tactics were brilliant, and he won several major battles against the Romans, including the Battle of the Trebia, the Battle of Lake Trasimene, and the Battle of Cannae. At the Battle of Cannae, Hannibal's forces completely surrounded and annihilated a Roman army of 80,000 men. Only 10,000 survived. This defeat was a huge blow to Rome, and it seemed like Hannibal would go on to conquer Italy. However, Rome was able to hold on, and they eventually defeated Hannibal in 202 BC at the Battle of Zama. The Romans were led by another brilliant general, Scipio Africanus, who had previously defeated Hannibal in Spain. After their victory at Zama, Rome forced Carthage to give up all of their overseas territories and pay a heavy indemnity. The war left both sides exhausted and depleted, but Rome emerged as the dominant power in the Mediterranean. After the war, Hannibal went into exile in Asia Minor, and he spent his later years writing about his military campaigns. He died around 183 BC. Possibly by suicide to avoid capture by Rome. Despite his military genius, Hannibal is often overshadowed by his nemesis, the Roman general Scipio Africanus. But Hannibal was a brilliant commander in his own right, and his victories over the Romans were some of the greatest military achievements of the ancient world. One of the most fascinating aspects of Hannibal's history is the legend surrounding his birth. According to Livy, a Roman historian, Hannibal was born with a set of twins, a brother and a sister, and from the moment he was born, it was clear that he was destined to be a great leader. As soon as he could speak, Hannibal vowed to devote his life to destroying Rome, the sworn enemy of Carthage. To ensure that he would grow up with the strength and courage necessary to fulfill this destiny, his father took him on military campaigns across the Mediterranean. By the time he was 26, Hannibal was a full-fledged general, and he wasted no time in making a name for himself. He led successful military campaigns against the Balearic Islands, Sardinia, and Corsica, where he showed remarkable skill and bravery in battle. His reputation as a brilliant strategist and tactician grew quickly, and he was called upon to lead the Carthaginian army against the encroaching armies of Rome. Despite being outnumbered and outgunned, Hannibal's army was able to hold their ground and even score some victories against the Romans. His most famous victory was at the Battle of Cannae, where he completely encircled and destroyed a Roman force of 80,000 men, killing or capturing every single one of them. It was a stunning display of military genius, and it made Hannibal a legend in his own time. Although Hannibal ultimately lost the war against Rome, his military brilliance and tenacity in the face of overwhelming odds have been admired by military leaders and historians ever since. The story of Hannibal Barca is not just a tale of ancient warfare, but a testament to the power of ambition, courage, and determination. Now, let's get back to the city of Hannibal. After the destruction of Old Hannibal by the Romans, a new city was established in the area in the 5th century AD by Arab conquerors. This new city was named New Hannibal, and it quickly became an important trading center in the region. However, over the centuries, the city's fortunes declined, and it was eventually abandoned. In the 16th century, the Ottoman Empire conquered the area, and they built a small village on the site of the old city. The village was named Hamdun, and it remained relatively unimportant until the French colonized Lebanon in the 19th century. In 1860, the French explorer and writer Ernest Renan visited the ruins of Hannibal, and he identified it as the ancient Phoenician city. This discovery sparked interest in the city's history and archaeology, and excavations began in the early 20th century. In the 1920s, a team of French archaeologists led by Louis Feldman began excavating the ruins of Hannibal. They discovered the remains of the city walls, a temple, a theater, an aqueduct, and other structures. These excavations revealed the extent of the city's prosperity during the Roman and Byzantine periods, and it showed that the city was much larger than modern Hannibal. Today, the ruins of Hannibal are a popular tourist destination. Visitors can explore the ancient city walls, the theater, and the other excavated areas. The ruins are a reminder of the city's rich history and its importance in the ancient world. In addition to the ruins, there are also a number of museums in Hannibal that display artifacts from the city's past. One of the most important museums is the National Museum of New Hannibal, which houses a collection of artifacts from the Roman and Byzantine periods. If you want to learn more about the history of Hannibal, I highly recommend visiting the city and exploring the ruins for yourself. You can also visit the museums to see the artifacts that have been found here. Trust me, you won't regret it. It's a truly humbling experience to walk among the ruins of such an ancient and important city. That's all for today. Thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something new. If you did, please hit the like button, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. It really helps me out. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.